just returned after spending 3 weeks in Azad Kashmir, where I visited my family, and the whole intention was to spend some quality time with my family over Eid, which I did do. But ultimately, the very disturbing, undemocratic and disgraceful decision taken by Modi to revoke 370 had sent shockwaves not just across the Indian subcontinent but right across the world. The people of Azad Kashmir, like the rest of us here, are deeply, deeply concerned with this act. There was numerous demonstrations that took place there. I spent some time in the Pakistan National Assembly talking and engaging with parliamentarians from right across the political spectrum about the actions of this fascist Modi government. The one thing that was reassuring on this visit was the reaction of the Kashmiri diaspora, in particular here in the United Kingdom and in our city of Birmingham. Your actions as a community to go onto the streets to demonstrate peacefully against this very undemocratic decision by Modi's government offered hope to those who are suffering. And you know, the fact that many Kashmiris who have family across the other side of the line of control in Indian occupied Kashmir, they couldn't contact them because of the communication blackout. The stories that are coming out today and some of the stuff that's coming out in the mainstream media in terms of what the armed forces, the Indian armed forces are doing there is very, very concerning. I think it's really, really important that we continue to do what we've been doing. We continue to demonstrate peacefully. We stand wholeheartedly against this decision taken by the Modi government. We're not against the Indian community. We know that India is a divided country. There are many people within India who are utterly condemning this act from Modi and his government, and they stand with us, in particular those from the minority communities in India. I think we need to continue to demonstrate peacefully. I'll be joining the demonstration on this coming Friday here in Birmingham, and I encourage everyone wherever they are to participate in all the demonstrations, irrespective of who is organising them. At this moment of time, we're putting aside our many differences to unite for our brothers and sisters in Kashmir. We also live in a democratic country where we have a voice. I think it's really, really important that all of us contact our members of parliament, our members of European Parliament. They don't have to be of Kashmiri origin, they don't have to be Kashmiri or Muslim. They just need to be, you know, people who support peace, who support humanity, to come on side with us. And the only way that we are going to really, really win this difficult battle that we've got against Modi is when all our communities come together. So if you're working in an environment, talk to your work colleagues. If you're a politician, talk to people right across your political party. And it's really, really important that each and every one of you go out there, contact your members of parliament, whichever political party they are, contact all your members of European Parliament, ask them to raise their voice, ask them to stand up for the people of Kashmir, those that are suffering there in particular. There's a very, very important petition that's been launched by the Labour MP Debbie Abrahams from Oldham. She's the chair of the All-Party Parliamentary Group on Kashmir. That petition will be handed into 10 Downing Street on the 10th of September. So we've got a couple of weeks before that's handed in. We need to ensure that petition is signed by as many people as possible, because that petition is calling upon our British government to raise their voice. There has been utter silence from the government benches in this country. There's been silence from most of the international community, who are letting us down, who are letting the people who are suffering in Kashmir down. There's, you know, the double standards across the international community is really hurting each and every one of us. But we can't give up. We need to continue raising our voices, because everyone I spoke to during my visit in Kashmir, whether they were people who are leaders in civic life, whether they were parliamentarians, politicians, journalists, or the ordinary Kashmiri or Pakistani, the one thing they were doing was they were looking at their brothers and sisters here in the Western world, the Kashmiri and Pakistani diaspora communities, to keep this whole campaign alive. So please, please continue to do what you're doing. Continue to tweet, continue to Facebook. Each and every action you take is being appreciated, it's being monitored, it's being watched, and it's being appreciated by those that are suffering. I beg to differ with you. Jeremy Corbyn sent a very, very strong tweet. The Shadow Foreign Secretary, Emily Thornberry's made some statements, and Liz McInnes, who leads the Labour Party on South Asia, has also made a clear statement. Here locally, the leader of the Labour Party in initiated a joint letter with the leader of the Conservative Party and the leader of the Liberal Democrat Party, in line with the 4 motions in support of the people of Kashmir that have been passed at Birmingham City Council, that a joint letter was issued. We've passed 4 motions here in Birmingham over the years, asking that if not the people of India, not the people of Pakistan, but the people of Kashmir are given their right that they were promised in the United Nations numerous times to decide on their future. I think what we're asking for, we're not asking the international community or the international media or anyone to take sides here. We're just asking for the people of Kashmir to be given that opportunity to decide where their future lies. The same way that our country was given the opportunity to decide whether our future lies with the European Union or not, the same way that the Union gave the opportunity to Scotland to decide where their future lied with the Union or not, the same way the people of Kashmir, as has been promised on numerous occasions at the United Nations, they need to decide the future. Not the Pakistanis, not the Indians, not Modi or Imran Khan or anyone else across the world, not the United Nations. The people of Kashmir need to decide. And the other thing I want to say, my message through yourselves to India is, you claim to be the biggest democracy in the world. You claim to be a big supporter of peace. Why is there this communication blackout, and why is it that independent people are constantly allowed into Azad Kashmir? They are constantly allowed in to monitor what's going on. I've spent 3 weeks there. I hardly came across any Pakistani armed forces in Azad Kashmir. But when you look at what's happening in Indian occupied Kashmir, there were already thousands of Indian armed forces there. Those numbers have increased substantially following this action from the Modi government. It's time to demilitarize Kashmir. It's time to give the Kashmiri people that right to decide. And if India is so confident that they feel that the people of Kashmir will decide that the future lies with India, then why don't they give the people of Kashmir that right to decide their future? I think it's really important that peace-loving people, you don't have to be a member of any political party. You don't need to have a particular line on the issue of Kashmir. The simple thing is, you want to support peace, you want to support humanity, and you want to give those people in Kashmir who are suffering and have suffered for over 70 years their right to decide where their future. First and foremost, I'm proud to say I'm a Kashmiri. I'm a son of Kashmir. I'm son of Kashmiri. So it's a moral duty for me to support this cause. It's also a moral duty for me to stand up where I see human rights violations taking place. It's a moral duty for me to support those that are suffering. And there's nobody across this world who is suffering more than the people of Kashmir. As I said earlier, Birmingham City Council has over the years passed 4 very strong motions saying that the people of Kashmir need to be given their right to decide on their future. And it's important for us at Birmingham City Council because we have the largest Kashmiri diaspora here in Birmingham. There's more Kashmiris here in our city of Birmingham than anywhere else outside Kashmir. So the impact of what happens in Kashmir has a huge impact on community relations here, and it has an impact on the Kashmiri diaspora community. So that is a clear interest for Birmingham City Council. Now, Birmingham City Council is not going to take sides with India or Pakistan. Birmingham City Council is, the 4 motions we passed were very clear. Let the Kashmiri people decide. A very strong letter signed by the leaders of the three political parties was jointly issued. And the fact that political groups in this city can have differences on all sorts of issues, but on the issue of Kashmir, we stand together. And we stand together where we demand that our government, the letter was sent to the Foreign Secretary, that our government needs to make representation, and very strong representation, to this Modi government, that their actions are undemocratic, their actions are against peace, their actions are unhumane, and we need peace, and we need to resolve this issue. And there's only one way to resolve this issue, and that is through the ballot box. I believe in democracy. I've been democratically elected a number of times as a councillor, and I fully support the democratic way of deciding. And the only way, the fair way to decide the future is the future of this issue, a long-standing issue, between 2 big nuclear nations, is to give the people of Kashmir the right to decide through the ballot box.